Hey everyone. So I've been seeing a lot of chatter lately about XRP being in trouble. People are getting seriously bearish, thinking we're heading straight into a bear market and that this cycle's best days are already behind us. But here's the thing, and I want to be completely honest with you. Nobody has a crystal ball here. Nobody knows exactly what's coming next. But personally, I'm still feeling pretty optimistic about where we're headed. And I think there are solid reasons to believe we haven't seen that final explosive run-up yet for crypto as a whole. I've been talking about this day after day, and guess what? I'm not the only one who thinks the best is still to come for XRP this cycle. There are tons of chart analysts who share this view, and I'm going to walk you through what they're saying. One analyst I follow actually addressed this bearish sentiment head-on. He basically said, "Look, I hear what people are saying about XRP being in trouble, but I respectfully disagree." And you know what? The numbers are backing him up. Right now, XRP is sitting at $2.64. We saw it spike as high as $2.69 just a little while ago. Now, a lot of analysts have been watching that $2.70 level as key resistance, so we're literally right there, knocking on the door. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is cruising at $114,250 with a 24-hour high just over $116,000. Pretty incredible stuff. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I am seeing some analysts I follow warning about potential short-term pullbacks. Some of the traditional finance folks are saying, hey, we might see some correction here. It's not everyone, but it's enough people that it's definitely caught my attention. But here's the crucial part, and this is why I'm not panicking. Even these cautious analysts aren't saying the cycle is over. They're not screaming that we're entering a multi-year bear market. That's just not what I'm hearing from the smart money. Actually, the timing of this discussion is pretty interesting, because check this out. I just saw this post from Ryan Dietrich, who's the chief market strategist at Carson Group. He shared some fascinating historical data about the S&P 500 going all the way back to 1950. Get this, he notes that historically, stocks tend to bottom on October 27th. And guess what day it is today? October 27th. He wrote, stocks historically bottom on October 27th and rally into the end of the year. Q4 is typically looking pretty damn good. Now, this is just historical precedent, but here's why I pay attention to this stuff. History has a way of rhyming with itself. These averages exist for a reason. When you get a large enough sample size of human behavior, people tend to react similarly in similar situations. That's why past performance, when you're really comparing apples to apples, often gives us a pretty good roadmap for what might happen next. And speaking of things looking good, did you catch that the Russell 2000 hit another new all-time high today? This isn't just some random milestone. Small cap stocks going crazy is actually a big deal for us crypto folks because, and this is important, we've never had a full-blown alt season without the Russell 2000 leading the charge first. Why does this matter? Because when the Russell 2000 is pumping, it means people are willing to take on more risk. They're moving further out on the risk curve. And that psychological shift is everything. Being risk-on starts with equities and crypto, but it's all about degrees, right? The more that appetite gets juiced up, the further people venture out. We're not just talking Russell 2000 here. We're talking about moving beyond large caps and Bitcoin into mid caps, small caps, and eventually, that's exactly how alt season kicks off. But wait, it gets even better. It wasn't just the Russell 2000 today. The S&P 500, new all-time high. Dow Jones, all-time high. NASDAQ 100, you guessed it, another all-time high. And here's the kicker. This all happened on October 27th, the exact same day Ryan Dietrich pointed to as the historical bottom before stocks rally into year-end. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. The timing is absolutely perfect. The crypto market was pumping for most of the day too, which makes total sense. But here's something really interesting. Gold got absolutely hammered today, down over 3%, barely holding above $4,000 an ounce. Now, why should you care about gold? Because historically, and this is huge, when gold starts falling, That's usually the signal that precedes alt season. It's like a green light for that final parabolic rally we've all been waiting for. If this trend keeps up, it's just another piece of the puzzle falling into place. Oh, and speaking of things going parabolic, I saw something today that perfectly illustrates how fast this crypto game can move. There's this post about Zcash. Apparently, it just erased 4 years of downtrend in a single candle. 4 years gone in a matter of weeks. This is exactly why I always tell people, and I can't stress this enough, either you have exposure when an asset rockets or you don't. It's that simple. And you know what the best way to make sure you're positioned? Buy and then do absolutely nothing. I know, it sounds boring, but I'm telling you, this is how I personally handle my crypto investments. I buy, and then I become more patient than everyone else. Because here's the truth. If you just let time pass and zoom out, the entire crypto market cap chart goes up and to the right. It's been doing that for over 16 years. Sure, we'll have bear markets along the way, but that trend isn't stopping anytime soon. And look at how quickly these moves happen. I'm looking at Zcash right now on CoinWatch. It's at $327. Check out this 1-year chart. For months and months, it's just sitting there. Flat, flat, flat. And then boom, over the last month, it just takes off like a rocket ship. Sound familiar? That's exactly what XRP did last year when it finally started its November run. And get this, over the last 30 days alone, Zcash is up 524%. 524%. That's the kind of explosive move that can literally change your life if you're positioned right. Now, full transparency here, I do hold some Zcash. Not a massive bag, but I've been holding it for a long time. Actually, I hold 42 different cryptocurrencies. But here's the thing. You don't need anywhere near that many to build life-changing wealth in crypto. You really don't. The only reason I have so many is because I've been in this space for almost 8 years now. Over time, I've just been like, yeah, I'll throw a little at this one, dab a bit on that one, going further out on the risk curve. But honestly, the vast majority of my portfolio value is concentrated in just a handful of coins, mostly large caps and some mid caps. That's where almost all the real money went. Here's another perfect example. Origin Trail, up about 130% over the last 30 days. And there are plenty more where that came from. These are just 2 quick examples of what's happening right now. This is exactly what we see historically before the market really starts vaulting higher. Usually, a few coins start breaking out first, and then it spreads like wildfire. Even Binance Coin was going crazy recently. We're seeing these early movers, and it's setting the stage perfectly. Check out this post from Credible Crypto that absolutely nails it. He says, when you were told we are in a bear market, but all the numbers are going up. I mean, just look around. The evidence is right there on your screen. And this guy is seriously optimistic about what's coming. He's not backing down. He still believes the best is yet ahead. He's calling for Bitcoin to peak somewhere above $150,000 this cycle. And for XRP, he's targeting somewhere between $20 to $30 this cycle. Nothing has changed his outlook, not even those liquidations we saw a couple weeks ago. Here's another analyst backing this up. Crypto Wizard, a Bitcoin price trader, just posted, "Bulls in control. The range has been reclaimed after the retest, buyers stepped in, and Bitcoin has exploded to the upside. A retest of $110,500 can occur whilst filling the CME gap, or it could get left behind. An all-time high is coming." See what he's saying? It's not over, just like I keep telling you. Now, he does acknowledge we might see a move down first to test that 110,500 level. And honestly, I've been pointing this out day after day. There are quite a few analysts I follow who think we could see a short-term pullback. They might be right about that. It's not most of the analysts I follow, but it's enough that I've definitely noticed the pattern. So if it happens, don't freak out. Don't be caught off guard. These same analysts still believe we're going to rampage higher afterward. And here's some solid technical analysis to back this up. Cantonese Cat just posted about Bitcoin's weekly chart. He's looking at the 20-week moving average and the Bollinger Bands, and he's seeing a pattern that's played out beautifully before. He says, Bitcoin weekly losing the 20-week simple moving average, taking the lower Bollinger Band, then reclaiming the 20-week simple moving average back as support. The last few times this happened, we got the next leg up. What he's pointing out is that every time Bitcoin drops down to hit that lower Bollinger Band, that's the blue line, and then bounces back up to reclaim that yellow moving average line as support, it signals the next major leg higher. And guess what? It's happened.
So yeah, he's feeling pretty optimistic about where we're positioned for this pattern to repeat itself. That's exactly why he's highlighting it. Now, let's talk XRP specifically, because this is where things get really interesting. Chart analyst Dom just posted something crucial. He says XRP is nearing the important level highlighted above. We do not want to see an underside rejection happen here. Reclaiming is the goal. We're literally at a make or break moment here. Either XRP is going to push through this level or it's going to get rejected. And here's my take. If we do see a rejection here, I honestly won't be surprised if the entire crypto market moves down together. But here's what I absolutely refuse to believe, that XRP is just going to suffer for the rest of this cycle while everything else has some euphoric blow off top without it. That makes absolutely zero sense. Think about it logically. Even last cycle, when the SEC was literally attacking XRP, and that's exactly what was happening, XRP still moved in tandem with the broader market. Sure, it didn't hit a new all-time high because of that legal mess, but it still followed the market's movements. So the idea that XRP is just going to throw in the towel and say, okay, I had my fun, I'm done now, I don't want to go any higher, come on, that's not how markets work. That doesn't make a damn bit of sense. Look, I've been holding this thing and I think it's going way, way, way higher. XRP has been artificially suppressed for years. It's one of the most adopted and useful cryptocurrencies in the entire space. The fundamentals have never been stronger than they are right now. We've got legal clarity, finally. The United States is pro-crypto right now. And here's the kicker. We haven't had alt season yet to end this cycle. I don't think this will be the first time in crypto history we just skip it entirely. That concept is just silly to me. Dom also shared another fascinating chart, the XRP USD chart compared to oil. He says, right as the USD chart is approaching a significant level, the oil chart is attempting to break back above the range we've watched all year. This is an extremely important level. Regaining it would be bullish. Getting rejected would not be ideal. What's really interesting is how this oil chart has been leading what happens on the XRP USD chart. We're definitely at a crucial moment here. Now, I will say this, there are a couple of analysts I follow who think XRP could move to the downside, but here's my attitude. If we're going to see some major breakdown, I'd be shocked if it happens in isolation. I really would. If something causes the whole crypto market to dump, then fine. XRP will fall with everything else. But outside of that scenario, I doubt we're looking at anything too dramatic. Here's where things get really interesting though. Crypto Insight UK just posted something that perfectly captures what I've been seeing. He says there are a lot of people complaining on the internet, feeling sad and scared. Tons of analysts have flipped bearish and retail is getting fearful. But then he drops this bomb.
I know a few people in the space are saying XRP isn't looking amazing right now. However, I can discuss a few things for you this morning. First off, XRP has literally no downside liquidity. While this doesn't mean price can't fluctuate or be pushed around, it does mean that at some point, price will be pushed higher into the deep areas of liquidity. And here's the key. These liquidity areas, that's where exchanges and market makers make their money. So they have every incentive to push price up there eventually. He also makes a crucial point about timeframes. He says, secondly, this liquidation event doesn't look bad on the weekly at all. I'm seeing monthly discussions, and I'm not saying the argument isn't valid, but I am saying it's just one time frame. Yes, higher timeframes are more reliable, so have a look at the 3-month chart. Looks good too. This is so important. Everyone's zooming in on the daily charts and panicking, but when you zoom out to higher timeframes, the picture looks completely different. And speaking of longer-term perspectives, check this out. He shared a fractal analysis that's absolutely mind-blowing. He says, I know people love a fractal on here. I shared this a few weeks ago. This is what a measured move would look like from the last time XRP daily hit the oversold area on the RSI. Looking at this RSI indicator, every time XRP has gotten into oversold territory like this, it's been a fantastic buying opportunity afterward. And if this fractal pattern continues to play out, we're looking at XRP potentially hitting around $15. I wouldn't mind that in the least.
But here's something even more fascinating from Charting Guy. He's looking at the XRP BTC chart compared to what Dogecoin did last cycle, and the correlation is absolutely insane. He says, XRP BTC this cycle, with Doge BTC last cycle fractal overlaid. Mind-boggling accuracy. The timing, the pattern, the degree of correlation, it's honestly fascinating to see. He was showing this same comparison back on December 2nd, 2024, which happened to be the exact day XRP hit its local high of $2.90 after that incredible month-long run. Now, I'm not here to convince you that XRP will play out exactly like Dogecoin did. Maybe you find that compelling, maybe you don't. But here's what I really want you to take away from this. You absolutely can have a massive burst, then consolidate for a really long time, and then have another gigantic explosion higher. This is totally normal behavior for crypto assets. And when people were going through those consolidation phases with other coins, they probably felt defeated sometimes. They felt impatient, wondering if anything would ever happen again. But then boom, it did. Like I keep saying, either you have exposure when that rocket ship takes off, or you don't. So take it for what it's worth. Here's another bullish voice. The great Matsby just posted, XRP had one of the best weekly candle closes tonight, back above the weekly Ichimoku baseline. All-time highs are coming. There's another analyst who's extremely optimistic that the best is yet ahead. And check out this perspective from Ether Nation. XRP, you're not ready for the next wave. Stuck between its 2017 and 2021 peaks, XRP is maturing in a years-long reaccumulation phase. The silence is a precursor to a major move. Once the structure is complete, a new parabolic wave will take hold. Now, I want to be completely transparent with you. There are a couple of analysts I follow who are leaning bearish on XRP in the short term. I highlighted this in yesterday's video. Maybe it's a minority opinion, but it's worth acknowledging. Look, sometimes minority opinions end up being right. I'll give you that. But here's the thing. They usually aren't. And the vast majority of analysts I follow believe the best is still ahead for XRP. So we're going to find out together, aren't we? But here's my mindset, and this is crucial. Even if we somehow entered a bear market tomorrow, you know what I'd do? Absolutely nothing different.
I'd keep holding XRP. I'd actually buy more during the depths of a bear market. Then we'd rampage higher again, and I'd make even more money when we're back in extreme greed and I start taking profits. Either way, I'm going to be just fine because I'm choosing to position myself correctly. And here's the beautiful truth about crypto. You can literally just choose to be rich. Make the right decisions, stick to your plan, and wealth becomes inevitable. ChartNerd just posted something that perfectly captures where we are right now. XRP, so far so good. Must clear $2.70 to really kickstart a euphoric run back towards descending resistance, then all-time highs. Another optimistic analyst. And get this, he's calling for a peak this cycle at $27. $27! Here's another bullish take from chart analyst CW. The real upside of Phase 4 on the XRP rally comes after the all-time high breakout. The uptrend is just starting. He's targeting $21.50, and he emphasizes again, the uptrend is just starting. If that ends up happening, I won't be surprised in the least. Look, I totally understand what people are saying. I get that some folks are impatient, some are fearful. I completely understand those emotions. But me, I'm not fearful in the least. Think about this for a second. Imagine where this entire asset class will be another decade from now. What do you think is going to happen over the next 10 years? That chart is going to continue going up and to the right, just like it has for the past 16 years. I'm going to be here for all of it. The question is, are you? Because I'm just choosing to be there for the entire journey. Whether we enter a bear market now, next year, or at any point after that, I'm going to be here for all of it. Why? Because I know it's just going to keep getting better and better and better. XRP is here to stay. It's an early winner in the crypto space. So why would I be fearful regardless of what happens in the short term? It literally doesn't matter. It doesn't emotionally impact me at all because I know where this is all heading long term.